Hello there, and welcome back to another episode of Couch Sundays. Today we're diving into a topic that impacts many relationships: how men's insecurities can derail a woman's life. We'll be discussing how the insecurities of men can influence the behavior of women, often leading them to compromise their goals and even their well-being. We'll look at how a man's lack of self-confidence can create a cycle of shared insecurity, impacting not only his life, but also that of his partner. From personal experiences to shared stories, we'll explore how these dynamics can create a significant strain on relationships. Understanding these patterns is essential to fostering healthier connections and avoiding the damaging effects of misplaced insecurities. So join us as we explore this topic in detail, sharing personal experiences and examples to shed light on this issue. Insecurities, we all have them. However, when they start affecting our relationships, it's a problem. Let me share a personal experience. There was a time when I found myself in a relationship with a man who was insecure about his age. He was older than me, but his constant need to appear youthful led to a dynamic that was more draining than it was enjoyable. His insecurities didn't just stay his, he made sure they became mine as well. Each day, he would make comments about age, subtly suggesting comparisons that made me feel older than I was. He'd often say things like, "You're so mature for your age," or "I bet people think we're the same age." It may sound harmless at first, but over time these comments became a daily reminder of our age disparity, a reality he was uncomfortable with, but ironically, never ceased to highlight. This scenario didn't just strain our relationship, it created an exhausting dynamic that was tough to navigate. He was continually trying to level the playing field, to make himself seem less like my senior and more like my contemporary. He would even go as far as to disregard people older than him, as if acknowledging their existence would somehow age him. The discomfort of being consistently reminded of our age difference became a significant strain on our relationship. It was like walking on eggshells, always having to be mindful of his sensitivities while mine were blatantly ignored. But here's the thing, this wasn't an isolated incident. I've heard similar stories from friends and acquaintances. Another couple I know faced a similar challenge. The husband, grappling with weight gain, projected his insecurities onto his younger wife. He'd suggest she needed to work out more, using his own insecurities as a veiled critique of her appearance. This behavior, unfortunately, is not uncommon. It's a pattern where men, grappling with their insecurities, use them to critique or control their partners. It's a way of asserting control, of maintaining power in a relationship. And that was just one instance. Unfortunately, this is a common pattern in many relationships. It's not just me, many others have experienced this too. Here's another example. Imagine a couple, bright-eyed and brimming with love, a picture-perfect love story, until the husband starts grappling with weight gain. The added pounds gnaw at his self-esteem, stirring up a whirlwind of insecurities. Instead of addressing these feelings head-on, he projects them onto his younger wife, suggesting she needed to work out more. The innocent comment might seem harmless at first, but it's a symptom of a deeper issue. The husband, feeling insecure about his weight, starts using his wife as a mirror for his own insecurities. He starts critiquing her, controlling her, making her question her own self-worth. This behavior is not an isolated incident. It's a common pattern that echoes across relationships, men using their own insecurities to critique or control their partners. It's a way for them to deflect their own feelings of inadequacy, to divert attention from their own struggles. But this projection takes a toll. The wife, once confident and self-assured, starts to doubt herself. She starts to see herself through her husband's critical lens, questioning her own worth. She's no longer the vibrant woman she once was. She's a reflection of her husband's insecurities, a shadow of her former self. This projection of insecurities isn't just damaging to the individual on the receiving end. It's destructive to the relationship as a whole. It creates a wedge between partners, breeding resentment and undermining trust. What was once a loving partnership becomes a battlefield, a constant tug-of-war between insecurities and self-worth. This cycle of projection and control is a silent killer of relationships. It's a destructive pattern that, if left unchecked, can lead to a slow and painful erosion of love and mutual respect. It's heartbreaking to see how these insecurities can take a toll on a relationship. There's another angle to this. Some men see their partners as competition, resulting in a toxic dynamic. In a world where equality is becoming more and more prominent, it's not uncommon to see women excelling in different fields. However, this progress can sometimes trigger a sense of insecurity in their male partners, leading them to view their significant others as competition rather than companions. This can be attributed to societal norms that have long associated masculinity with dominance and control. Let's consider the example of Mark and Lisa, a couple who were both lawyers. They started off as college sweethearts, supporting each other through law school and later in their professional lives. However, as Lisa started to rise through the ranks more quickly than Mark, he began to feel threatened. Instead of celebrating her achievements, he began to belittle her, subtly suggesting that her success was due to her looks or luck and not her hard work or intelligence. His ego and sense of self-worth were tied to being more successful than his partner, leading him to see Lisa as a threat rather than a partner to celebrate. Similarly, there's the case of James and Sarah. Once Sarah was promoted to a position higher than James at the same company, James started to feel emasculated. He began to nitpick her decisions at home, asserting dominance in areas he felt he could control. This was his misguided way of trying to reclaim his sense of masculinity, which he felt was threatened by Sarah's professional success. In both these cases, the men saw their partner's success as a challenge to their own identity. This resulted in destructive behaviors, such as belittling, criticizing, and attempting to exert control, which strained their relationships and created a hostile environment. These examples illustrate how some men, when feeling emasculated or threatened, may start to view their partners as competitors. This mindset can lead to a toxic dynamic, where instead of supporting each other and growing together, partners are pitted against each other in a battle of egos and insecurities. It's important to remember that a relationship is a partnership, not a competition. A partner's success should be celebrated, not feared or envied. Love should foster growth and mutual support, not insecurity and rivalry. As you can see, this competitive mindset can be detrimental to a relationship. So, what can we do about this? How can we recognize and address these issues? Well, it all begins with awareness. Recognizing the dynamics of insecurity and their impact on a relationship is the first step. It's about being mindful of the subtle signs, such as an excessive need for validation or the tendency to belittle your achievements. These are red flags, suggesting that a partner's insecurities are influencing your relationship. Next, understand that it's not about you. It's easy to internalize these insecurities, to feel as though you're at fault or lacking in some way. But remember, these insecurities stem from your partner's internal struggles, not your shortcomings. This realization can be a significant relief, lifting the burden of guilt and self-doubt. Now let's talk about communication. It's the cornerstone of any relationship, and when dealing with insecurity, it's more important than ever. Initiate open and honest conversations about how these insecurities are affecting your relationship. It's not about blaming or criticizing, but expressing how certain behaviors make you feel. Use I statements like, "I feel undermined when," or "I feel hurt when." These express your feelings without blaming your partner, encouraging a more receptive response. But what if your partner isn't open to discussion or denies there's a problem? That's where professional help comes in. Therapists and counselors are trained to navigate these difficult conversations and can provide the necessary tools and strategies to address insecurities effectively. They can also help you both understand the root of these insecurities and work towards resolving them. And finally, don't forget self-care. It's easy to lose yourself when dealing with a partner's insecurities. Prioritize your mental and emotional well-being. Engage in activities that make you happy, spend time with supportive friends and family, and seek professional help if needed. Remember, it's not selfish to take care of your needs. In fact, it's essential for a healthy relationship. So, to sum it up, recognizing and addressing insecurities in a relationship involve awareness, understanding, communication, professional help if needed, and self-care. It's not an easy journey, but it's a worthwhile one. After all, everyone deserves to be in a relationship that nurtures and uplifts them, not one that drains and diminishes them. It's crucial to confront these issues head-on to ensure healthier, happier relationships. As we wrap up today's discussion, let's reflect on what we've learned. It's clear that the impact of male insecurities in a relationship can be profound and far-reaching. While these insecurities may seem insignificant at first, they can quickly derail the stability and happiness of a relationship, and by extension, a woman's life. We've delved into personal experiences and shared stories, shedding light on how insecurities can permeate different aspects of a relationship. Whether it's age-related comments that create a sense of shared insecurity, or suggestions to work out more as a way of projecting personal body image issues, it's evident that these actions stem from a place of deep-seated insecurity and fear. We've also discussed the unsettling dynamic that arises when men begin to see their partners as competition. This creates an unhealthy atmosphere of rivalry instead of partnership in a relationship. It's a clear sign that the man is grappling with feelings of inadequacy and is resorting to comparing himself to his partner to feel better. The key takeaway here is the importance of recognizing these dynamics. Ignorance and denial only contribute to the problem and can lead to a spiraling cycle of negativity. Addressing these insecurities head-on, whether through open communication, professional help, or personal growth, is crucial. Remember, it's not about assigning blame, but about understanding the root of these insecurities and working together to overcome them. After all, a relationship is a partnership, and it's only through mutual support and understanding that it can truly thrive. Thank you for joining us on Couch Sundays. Remember, understanding and addressing these insecurities can lead to healthier relationships. See you next time.